Yeah, I mean, again, I can just think of like so many examples. Some of the things that I've taught myself over the years is I kind of have, two rules that I go by. One is you can't work for me until you work for me. And so, I try to give people an opportunity as much as possible to do a test project or something simple, something low risk, because people come in all day long and tell you how good they are, how dedicated they are, the quality of their work. But the only way you can see how good somebody is to actually see the quality of their work. So, don't you can't work for me until you work for me is kind of a big thing that I do. The other thing that I do is I kind of think about people in like three buckets. I kind of call it you're either a rock star, a superstar, or individual contributor. And what I mean by that is not rock star in the sense of like you're amazing. But when I say rock star, it's like I know that if you join my company, you have a desire. Like every year, you're going to want to get promoted. Every year, you're going to want to move up. You're going to want to, a bump. Like it's important not just to have the role, but the other things that come with that are very important to you. For the superstars, I'm sorry, that's the rock star. The rock stars are the solid people. The rock stars are people that you can depend on. You know they're going to show up every day. They're going to do the work. They're not necessarily
I feel like I have a couple rock stars.
yeah, they're solid. That's why I call them, right? They're solid. You can depend on them, and they're not necessarily there to get your job or to like run a major department because for a long time in corporate America, you couldn't get promoted unless you actually managed people, and so I've tried to separate those two things out and say there's ways to grow without managing. So that's the rock star. The superstar is the one I talked about the first time. Where again, I know if you're a superstar, you're coming in like you want my job. You know what I mean? You're coming in, you want to move up, you want a bonus every year, you want a bump, you want to see that progression. And then you have people that are individual contributors. They're people that they just do what they do. They might not want to manage a team, but they're competent. They show up every day and they do that. Do you kind of have any tricks to hire in that you've learned over the years?